Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Tonight, we're diving deep into the chilling world of true encounters on trains. These are stories whispered in hushed tones passed down through generations. So, dim the lights, make sure you're alone, and get ready. Because tonight, the tracks ahead lead straight into the unknown. Imagine this. It's rush hour. You're crammed into a crowded train carriage, the air thick with the smell of sweat and coffee. You manage to snag a seat, grateful for the brief respite. You glance at the person across from you, a man dressed in an impeccably tailored suit, but something about his clothes seems off. His hat is pulled low, shadowing his face, and he stares intently out the window. You try to catch his eye, but he doesn't react. He doesn't shift, doesn't blink, doesn't even seem to breathe.
As the train screeches to a halt at the final station, I turn to get one last look at the mysterious stranger. But the seat across from me is empty. He's gone. The only evidence he was ever there is a lingering musty odor. Later that night, I stumble upon an article about a man who died on that very train line decades earlier. A man whose description matches the stranger to a T.
Picture yourself on the last train home, the carriage mostly deserted. The rhythmic clatter of the tracks lulls you into a state of near sleep. You stir as the train rounds a bend, your gaze drawn to the far end of the carriage. There, shrouded in darkness, stands a figure.
I rise from my seat, each step filled with a growing sense of dread. As I draw closer, the shadow figure seems to ripple, its edges dissolving like smoke. My heart pounds as I reach the spot where it stood moments before, but there's nothing there. The carriage is empty, the air thick with an unsettling chill. Deep down, a primal fear whispers a different truth, that some things can't be explained.
You're jolted awake in the dead of night by a blood-curdling sound. A woman's scream, raw and filled with terror, echoes through the carriage.
I reach the carriage where the screams seem to originate, but it's deserted. Passengers sleep soundly in their bunks, oblivious to the terror that just ripped through the night. I question the nearby passengers, but no one else seems to have heard a thing. Later, another passenger tells me they've heard those same screams before, always vanishing without a trace. The train staff dismisses it as a legend, but the memory of that scream lingers.
Chapter 4. The Train Hitchhiker, Indian Passenger. The train rattles along the tracks, the sun beating down on the dusty landscape. An old man sitting next to you smiles kindly, his eyes crinkled at the corners. He speaks, his voice a low rumble, and tells you he's heading to the next town over to visit his daughter. As the train begins to slow, his demeanor changes. His smile fades, replaced by an expression of urgency. He leans close, his voice barely a whisper, and says, "Get off at this stop, young man, no matter what, trust me." You disembark at the next station, watching as the train pulls away. Hours later, news breaks of a horrific train derailment just miles down the track. You search for him among the survivors, but his name doesn't appear on the passenger list. He was never there. Chapter 5. The Child in the Tunnel. The train plunges into the darkness of the tunnel, the air growing thick and heavy. As the train rumbles deeper, a flicker of movement catches your eye. There, standing precariously close to the tracks, is a child, a young boy dressed in rags, his face pale and drawn. You tell the conductor, but he dismisses your concerns, saying it's just a local legend. Despite the conductor's skepticism, you can't shake the feeling that you saw something real. Chapter 6. The Creepy Drifter, Solo Traveler. The train speeds through the desolate landscape. You're alone, lost in a book, when you become aware of a presence nearby. A man, his clothes dirty and disheveled, stands in the aisle, swaying slightly with the motion of the train. He catches your eye and a shiver runs down your spine. You try to return to your book, but you can feel his eyes on you. You alert the conductor, and at the next station, security escorts him off the train. But as you reach your destination, you notice something strange. A folded piece of paper sits on your seat. You unfold it, your blood turning to ice as you read the message. "I'll see you soon." The end, or is it Thank you for joining us tonight on this journey into the unsettling world of true encounters on trains. If you enjoyed tonight's stories, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more spine-chilling tales. And tell us in the comments below, have you ever had a creepy encounter on a train? We'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, my friends, stay safe, stay curious, and keep your eyes on the tracks. You never know who or what might be watching.